Remember, what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. What you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. If you focus on a win-win relationship, on prosperity in the workplace, okay, you've increased, there are no guarantees in life, but at least you've increased your chances of coming up with a win-win solution. And part of dealing with difficult individuals, you may throw in all the bait, you may have the right mindset, you may throw in all the right tools, but if that person's not willing to go win-win, then you do no deal. It's win-win or no deal, because we never give in. And companies have termination policies, procedures. They may have to transfer departments. You may have to transfer a department. We will talk more about that in detail. But the tools I'm giving you here will increase your chances of resolving a conflict or dealing with a difficult person. But there are no guarantees in life, okay? You have to take the initiative to make things happen, all right? So when you repeat that information, let's see what time we have here. Okay, we got some time. All right, when we repeat that information, we have to do it with intense thought, feeling, and emotion. Okay, so now the thought comes in. This is too much drama. I hate going to work. I hate conflict. What do? Right away, what do? Do you cancel? Say cancel once? No. How many times? As many times as it goes away. And then what do you do afterwards? Okay, so how to reframe some of those statements? What would you say? I enjoy going to work. Yeah, I enjoy going to work. Sure. What else? Yeah.
There are benefits to going to work.
Good. There are benefits going to work. Make your affirmations believable to you. And anything else? I saw other hands here. Okay? Yeah. Just say, I can't make it a general statement. I can't wait to see my coworkers. And picture the end. Begin with the end in mind. Visualize the results that you want to see. Visioning. Everything is visioning, folks. When I see people that are unfulfilled in their life, they don't have a clarity of what they want. They're all over the place. Has anyone experienced someone who's all over the place? Doesn't it get old after a while? Yeah. And they feel unfulfilled. They don't feel as happy. It's because they don't know what they want. But they don't have a vision of their goal, of their goals and dreams. Did you know that 90% of Americans, they don't write their goals down? That's sad. They don't have year goals. They don't have 5-year plans, 20-year plans, 30-year plans. Do you know that if you do not write your goals down, you will work for someone who's written their goals down and help their dreams come true? If you do not write your goals down or know what you want, you will work for someone who knows what they want and help them get to where they want to go. Okay? It's very essential to know what you want. Have that clarity of vision. Visioning is everything. Does anyone in here know who Roger Bannister is? Good. What was your name? Who else? Jeff? Okay. 2 people. So, 3. Roger Bannister. What's so significant about Roger Bannister? What was he able to do?
Broke the barrier for the mile.
4-minute mile. He was the first person in 1954. In 1954, he was the first person to run a mile in 4 minutes. Did you know after Roger Bannister how many people were able to run a 4-minute mile? Yes, give me a number. I have 600, 700. Any other guesses? How many people do you think were able to run 4-minute miles? Yeah. Thousands? You have a number? Specific number?
Now or then?
Now, after he was able to run it. Thousands, huh? 20,000, more than 20,000 people were able to run a mile in 4 minutes. And folks, some of these individuals were 14 or 15-year-old high school kids. 14 and 15-year-old high school kids. But Roger Bannister was the what? The trendsetter, the visionary. Those 20,000 individuals could have ran the mile before Roger Bannister, a mile in 4 minutes. But what happened? Or people during his time could have ran a mile in 4 minutes. And they could have been the trendsetters. But what happened? What did those 20,000 people see?
Somebody was able to do it.
No, they saw that nobody's done it yet.
They saw that nobody's done it. And then when they saw that someone was able to do it, what happened? Maybe I can do it. So they planted in their mind, I can do it. Get it? I can do it. I can do it. They saw a vision. They were able to see someone else. This works with millionaires and billionaires in this country. When you had a few first billionaires, then more billionaires started popping up. Same thing with millionaires. First few millionaires, more millionaires started arising. Okay? Because it's all visioning. Now, you don't need to rely on someone else to do it first for you to be able to do something. But I want you to be the trendsetter. I want you to have the vision first. Right? The plane, everything. Realism, right? 100 years ago, if I were to come to you in a pub or whatever, let's say it's in this country, in 1874, I was in a pub and I said, you know what? Someday, there will be some machine and there will be seats on this machine and it'll fly in the air and you can fly from the US to China. If I were to have that kind of a conversation with an individual, how would that individual look at me? Yeah. Like, this guy drunk? This guy's crazy. That's not realistic. Okay? So visioning shatters everything. Okay? How realistic do you want to be? So stay positive. I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. Okay? Okay, so cancel, reframe, and then you want to repeat. When we repeat our information, in what manner do we repeat information? Enthusiasm. You got to believe it. You have to fake it till you what? You have to fake it till you make it. And this is something more positive for yourself and for your future. Okay? So, again, I bring this up. You're like, the first hour, I like to really go more in depth in the mindset, how the mind works. And how do you retrain your brain? Because if you have negative associations, negative neural associations about conflict, I give you all the tools. You might as well just throw this workbook and just throw it on the floor, right? Just throw it on the floor. Because you're not going to apply them because you have a negative mindset right from the get-go. So mindset is king. So you're visioning, and then from visioning you have goals. And I want you to picture, always begin with the end in mind. How do you want to see your workplace? How do you want to see your relationships in the workplace? How do you want to see the conflict being resolved? I want you to picture, okay, I have this difficult person. I don't have to hold their hands and sing Kumbaya, okay, and be their best friend, best pal. But have the end point that I do want to see a win-win solution. How is that going to look like? We're going to work together in a cooperative manner. I want you to visualize that. Really have that feeling and emotion intensified in your unconscious mind. Okay? Let's see what time we have here. Okay. All right. So, I think I'm going to cover a few things in the workbook. Conflict, goals. Okay, let's go back to page 1 here. Now for today, I did cover some of the mindset, but I want to hear from you before we go on a break. What are some key points you would like to see covered here today? Any one of you, if you raise your hand. What would you like to see? What are you going through right now? Yeah.
How do you deal with someone who's ineffective in management?
So you're dealing with someone who's ineffective at management, and how are they ineffective?
Not following through with policies that would actually make the workplace better.
Okay, not following through with policies. Great. So there's a lot of things you can do. You have to focus on the issue. You have to have a sit down. So I'm going to go in depth of what you do to have a sit down discussion. Anything else?
Dealing with employees who constantly complain about minor things.
Okay, complainers. Okay. So dealing with complainers. Anything else? Yeah.
Dealing with people who mildly harass you.
Oh, so you have a little bit of some snipers. That's called passive aggressive. You're dealing with passive aggressive individuals. We'll talk about that. Yeah. You're dealing with management changes. That's something out of your control. I mean, are the individuals who are being replaced, if they're being difficult, then there's ways to address it. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Like a restructure, like we're going through a restructure in our department.
Is that necessarily a conflict, or that's just something that you have to talk out priorities?
Or it could be when they're bringing their own people.
Okay.
Like getting rid of the old and kind of replacing it with their own.
Okay, good. Yeah, we'll talk about how you need to address the issue. How do you bring everyone to the table? How do you come up with interests? So we'll talk about that. Good. Anything else? Yeah. Oh.
Dealing with customers, having the specific words to use. Specifically, I have customers that feel very entitled, and the words to use to kind of manage.
Awesome. Good. Yeah.
Dealing with people who don't do their work and they get away with it while there's the other people doing 2-3 people jobs.
Yeah. We're going to cover that. Okay, good.
Talking to someone who answers questions with questions.
Oh. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Irrational response to a reasonable offer. Recently had someone who said they were insulted by a very fair and reasonable offer, and blaming when you can see the facts are that they perhaps are in over their head, and getting them back around to realizing that what the reality is.
Good.
Situation.
Okay, good. Cool. Anything else?
Dealing with someone who's very paranoid about losing his or her job.
Okay. All right. You got to give that person some acknowledgement. Yeah.
Dealing with offensive or aggressive Penny Club members.
Okay. I got you. That's easy. That's easy. Yeah. Okay. And you need access to that? All right. So, okay, that's good. I got a whole gist of what kind of the common, a lot of these things are very common that I see in classes. So almost all that will be addressed. If I can't address your immediate concern, please see me one-on-one so I can give you my input because I have to cater to everyone in here. So that's great. Folks, we're going to do a little break here, 10 minutes. Do a little 10-minute break. Come back around 10:18, please, or 10:20. We'll start. All right?